are being misled. Welcome to the show, Ringo TV Reactions. Um, Welcome to all you good people out there that are watching and tuning in from the world. Uh, there's a lot of talks about Donald Trump and the collapse of America, and a lot of doom and gloom, a lot of fear mongering happening, where influencers are telling you good people that the economy is going to crash. Uh, you know, we need to be ready. Here's the real news, guys. Um, Beware of the fearmonger. Beware of YouTubers that will come to you in sheep's clothing, appearing to be angels of light, but really these are the ministers of the devil. Let me explain exactly how this terror attack happens. This new form of attack is in the mind, where these demons, these entities, they come to you through content. And what they're going to do is use fear to paralyze your mind by telling you that there's going to be a collapse in America. This is what they want. This is what they're wishing for. With all the stuff going on with Trump, Iran, Israel, sleeper cells that are in the world. Yeah, we could give you warnings based on news that they put out there regarding sleeper cells. But as a believer in Christ, you're not supposed to be living in fear. So when content creators are always saying, there's going to be a collapse, there's going to be a collapse, oh my goodness, there's going to be a cyber attack, those are demons. Those are demons that are working for the elite. Those are demons that are working for the devil to keep your mind down, to keep your mind crushed, to make you fear. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this video, double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. We can't let these people continue to lie, to manipulate, to gaslight viewers. You understand? I've been doing YouTube since 2006. You understand? I'm verified, a real content creator that actually put out content that is real. We're being saturated by AI. AI content is running the internet. All over YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, there's nothing but AI content. I was literally just on another platform. I believe it's an Asian platform. It's nothing but AI. And the people were so blind. They had about 1,000 people viewing the live stream. I came in there, I warned them. I said, look at the anomalies, look at the glitching, look at the person's legs, look at the shadows, look at those little things. And when you look at those little things, you can see the glitch. It's all AI. Now, as viewers, you must beware of fear-mongering content. What is fear-mongering content? It is when a content creator takes away your peace by making you believe that sudden death is coming our way. This is what they do. The collapse, the great reset, the economy is gonna fall. So what do? We get into panic mode. We start to worry. So now all the plans you had for you and your good family, all of the plans that you had for your future goes out the window now, because now it's time to live in fear. You understand? I've warned you guys about the 4th of July already. You got content creators stealing all the things that I've talked about, guys, and using it to put fear in you, using it to manipulate you. I never put fear in you guys. I gave you warnings of things to not to do and things you could do. In other words, if we're hearing all this stuff about Iran, Israel, sleeper cells, 4th of July, I made it very clear, guys. On those particular days, let's not go out to these particular gatherings. You could do some things with your life. I'm not saying stay inside your house forever and ever. I'm not saying just be antisocial. You got to live your life. But don't let society and the issues put you in a box where you're living in fear. of constant fear and worry because of what these influencers are saying on social media. A lot of these people are demons. A lot of these people work for the devil, and they don't care about you people. Their job is to make you live in fear. Their job is to hustle you. Their job is to always tell you that death is coming. How come these people that keep telling you the economy is going to crash, the economy is going to crash, they claim that they're believers in God? They claim that they believe in Jesus Christ. Well, if they believe in God, how come they don't got nothing good for you? How come they never got a positive word? How come they never speak anything that's good? How come they don't speak against the evil in the world? How come they don't rebuke the disaster, rebuke the storms, rebuke the evil? How come they always telling you that there's going to be an economy collapse? Because if there's an economy collapse, it affects everyone, including the YouTuber. So you would think by them saying these things that, wait a minute, isn't it going to affect you? So why are you saying these things? Because they want it to happen, guys. A lot of these influencers are CIA agents posing as YouTubers. A lot of these people could be witches and warlocks. I just watched a movie on Netflix with, what's this particular actor? The actor that, I think his name is Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel, I believe his name is. It's a movie about witches and warlocks, and I guess he was some type of guy that was killing these witches and warlocks, or whatever the case is. And I'm not trying to, be a spoiler alert for the film, but I don't know the exact name of the film, but it involves Vin Diesel. In that particular film, it's good film. It's on Netflix. They were talking about witches and warlocks and how they put spells on people. And in the film, his guide, pretty much a spell was put on him by these particular witches, these dark entities, these demons. I need for you to know that on YouTube right now, I know a lot of you come to YouTube for entertainment, probably for some encouraging videos, some information, some knowledge, or perhaps a how-to to get you out of a situation. There are real-life demons, entities, that come here to this platform and they use it for evil. And what they do is they cast spells on you good people through their content. Meaning, while you're watching, they'll fill you up with, Trump. Trump is this and Trump is that. And one minute they were pro-Trump, next minute they're anti-Trump, then they're pro-Trump, then they're anti-migrants. Now they support the migrants. And a lot of these people, believe it or not, their women is migrants or their husbands is migrants. But they'll be on YouTube and they'll tell you things to get you in fear, to fearmonger, to make you worry, to make you believe that it's the end. We're all doomed. The internet is going to crash. There's going to be a cyber attack. When you see platforms that constantly tell you that there's a coming cyber attack, there's a coming cyber attack, you watch and see there's going to be a cyber attack. That's a demon. That's a demon that is designed to get you to use words. If you watch my videos on positive affirmation, positive confessions, you're supposed to speak life over your life. You're supposed to speak good things over your life. But these content creators, they work for the devil. That's why their tongue is always speaking evil. That's why their tongue is always wishing death, doom, gloom, chaos, pain. Why? Because that's the world they want to be in. Because they're miserable. Because they're not happy with their life. They're miserable. These people have no love in their heart. They have no soul. These people wake up in the morning angry at the world. So they want you to be angry. They want you to worry. They got bills. They got problems. They got debts. They got all sorts of issues. So what they want to do, they want to make you worry too. Because they got a pack of bills. They got a lot of financial debt. They got credit cards. And they don't have no support, no way of paying those bills. So because life ended for them, they want life to end for you. So what they're going to do is they're going to use all the stories that are going on in the headlines, and they're going to tell you, Trump, the economy is going to fall, the Great Reset, the terror cells, they're coming, they're going to blow things up. Look, ladies and gentlemen, When I report the news and I talk about the terror cells and these sleeper cells, I'm not reporting on these stories to put you in fear. What do I always tell you? Go out there and live your life. Go out there and be a believer in the Most High. Live your life. Don't be worried. Don't be fearful. You got a life to live. But at the same time, you got to be knowledgeable of what's going on in the world. But when you look at some of these content creators, they're always telling you that death is coming. Doom is coming. The end of the world. The internet is going to crash. Everything's going to shut down. You're going to lose your job. There's not going to be no food on the shelves. These content creators been saying that the supermarkets is not going to have no food on the shelves for years and years and years. Why they say these things? Why they do this? You understand? It don't make no sense because they're trying to crush Americans so that we can fall apart. This is America. Land of the brave, home of the free, but yet we living in fear? No, you don't supposed to be living in fear. You're supposed to be free from fear. So why do these influencers constantly want to give you fear? They always fear-mongering. They'll take stories that are in the headlines and they'll twist the narrative. They'll twist the story and they'll make you believe it's something worse than it is. Trump. Trump did this. Trump did that. Trump is the boogeyman. Trump is this. Trump is that. Okay, now what? How do you help these people to overcome their fear, their worry? Because a lot of content creators, they do this in order to get cash. A lot of content creators do this to get cash. A lot of you good people that view these videos, I appreciate you viewing. Trust me, it helps the platform. It helps us to grow. At the same time, I need for you to understand, a lot of YouTubers do not care about you good people. They don't care. They do their content just for cash. When I started on YouTube in 2006, there was no monetization. And I'm not saying you can't earn $1. There's nothing wrong with earning money. We all need money to pay bills. But let's just keep this thing a buck. A lot of these influencers, if you were to take away monetization, they wouldn't even go live. They wouldn't even do no content. You know why? Because it's motivated by money. It's not motivated because they want to give you a message, because they want to see people healed, delivered, and set free. They don't care. They're spreading fear. I thought a believer in Jesus Christ supposed to be preaching the gospel. Why are they preaching the gospel of the devil? The gospel of the devil says there's going to be a great reset. What does that mean? Great reset. Reset of what? Reset of what? What are you talking about? That don't make no sense. But this is what they do. They hit you with this nonsense, and now you sitting home worried, like, oh man, it's going to be a collapse, a great reset, Trump, bombs, Iran, sleeper cells, 4th of July. Listen, guys, 4th of July is going to come and go. Do you understand? 4th of July is going to come and go. See, when I warn you guys about the sleeper cells, it is not like I'm saying, okay, on the 4th of July, there's going to be a terror attack. No, it's just to give you a warning of being, alert on what's going on in the world so that you can move strategically with your family. Remember, we want to make sure that you're safe. You understand? Because as Americans, you got to take things serious, but at the same time, we still got to live our lives. You still got to pay your bills. Uncle Sam still waiting for them taxes. Your house, the bank is still expecting you to pay that mortgage. The car loan, that note, you still got to pay it. So we still got to live our lives, even with all this talk of terror and bombs and Iran and Israel and all this other mess. We're still in America. So we got to make the best of it. But one thing we're not going to do is live in fear. I'm not going to give you no fear-based messages. No fear. Hashtag no fear. You go out there, you live your life, you and your family to the best of your abilities. Yes, there's talks about sleeper cells, but okay, it is what it is, man. If it's my time to go, it's my time to go. I can't control all of these different things. Look, guys, there's certain things we cannot control. There's certain things that's out of our control. You could be the best driver in the world, doing the best. But if another motorist make the wrong move, it can cause an accident, even though you're doing the best of your ability. I don't want you listening to these content creators that are filling you up with lies, gaslighting you that there's going to be a collapse of the economy, a collapse of the government, a collapse of America. Man, they've been saying this stuff forever. Why? Because they want to mess your life up. They want to take away your peace. They want to take away your joy so you can be miserable like them. Misery loves company. That's what they want to do. You just started a business. You just got yourself together. You just bought a new house. And now you got people talking about, oh, the terror attack is coming and the economy is going to fall and there's not going to be no food on the shelves. And man, stop it. There ain't going to be no food on your shelf. And I'm talking about the people that are pushing that fear. There's going to be no food on their shelf because they're living in fear. We're not going to live in fear. We're going to keep the faith. We're going to understand that life is what you make it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of talks about what Trump is doing. Trump is this. Trump is that. He's the Antichrist. He's the president. It's like 1 minute Trump is the savior of America when he do something good. Next minute he's the devil when he do something bad. Which one is it? Which one is it, guys? Yeah, you got the migrant crisis right now. You got ICE going crazy. Trump just said in the media the other day that they're going to be putting 10,000 new ICE officers out there to do more rallying up of migrants and people that are immigrants. So this is going to continue to go on, guys. You know, but we still got to live our lives. Is it the end of the world? Is the economy going to crash? No, the economy is never going to crash. Nope, it's not crashing. America going to fall right now? No, not according to the Bible, not according to the scriptures. But what we have here in America is these content creators that work for the CIA. These are CIA agents designed to make you live in fear, guys. No fear. Say it. No fear. No fear. No fear. No fear. I'm not fearing nothing. I'm going to go live my life. I'm going to have a good time. And it is what it is. I'm not letting nobody put misery in me, ruin my whole day, ruin my weekend. Here I am having a good day, having a good time. And here you got a content creator coming on YouTube talking about, oh, the economy's going to fall. Oh, there's going to be a cyber attack. Oh, all your money in your bank account going to disappear. Man, stop it. Stop putting these damn demons on people. Stop filling people with lies. People out here hurting. People out here going through all sorts of hell and hot waters, and they need you to give them a positive word. People need encouragement. When Jesus Christ came, he gave words of encouragement. He lifted people up. He told you about your sin, but he didn't come here to give you doom and gloom. He didn't come here to tell you, oh, the world's falling. Oh, we're doomed. We're going to all die. I can't listen to that garbage all day. You understand? You have a life. You have a purpose. You have a family. You got kids. A lot of you want to see your kids raised. You want to see your kids get older and be successful in life. But you got people giving you all this worry and fear. Hashtag no fear. You got warmongers. You got fearmongers who are out here on social media planting seeds of worry and doubt in your life, guys. You are in America. It is time for you to stand strong. It is time for you to believe in yourself. It's time for you to understand that life is what you make it. Doesn't matter what's going on. If there's sleeper cells in America that want to launch some attack, it is what it is. I can't stop all of that, guys. But what I could do is I could pray for protection. I could pray. Now, here's the thing, guys. When you pray for protection, don't be selfish talking about God, please protect me and my family. No. When you pray to the Most High, you pray for him to protect America. That's how you pray. You don't pray for yourself, hypocrite. You pray for America. You pray for every state. That's how you pray. That's how you pray. You don't go to God and say, please protect me and my family. No. Protect America. Protect Americans from evil, from terrorists, from sleeper cells. That's how you pray, because you never know where you're going to be. You understand? You might abort a flight. You on a plane. I need to make sure that that pilot is protected by God too. Not just me. I need to make sure that everybody in this plane is protected. You see what I mean? When you go to your job, you got to pray. Some of you might say, well, I'm not a believer. I don't believe in the Bible. I'm an atheist. I don't care about that. You still got to pray. Because if you're on your deathbed, I promise you, you will become a believer in God. Many of you that say, oh, I don't believe in God, I don't care about that. When you're on your deathbed and you're about to die, you become a believer overnight. Guaranteed. You become a believer overnight. I don't care what's going on with Trump. I don't care what's going on with Iran. I don't care what Israel is doing. I don't care about sleeper cells. All I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, is this. We live in the world. So because we live in the world, we should listen to what the news is saying. But at the same time, we got to use our brain. As adults, if you hear about sleeper cells in America, last thing you want to do on the 4th of July is to be in crowded areas. That's not about promoting fear. That's about being smart. Meaning, you can still celebrate whatever you want to celebrate. I don't celebrate 4th of July. I don't celebrate 4th of July. I don't go outside with fireworks. I don't do that. When I was a kid, I did all of that type of stuff. When I was a kid, I was into all the celebration. I'm 48 years young. I don't do that anymore. But what I'm saying is this. Whether you're having a cookout, barbecue, you're out, with fireworks, whatever it is you're doing on that day, you want to make sure that you're safe. And you don't want to be where there's a large crowd. You don't know where or how or when something will pop off. But it's not to put you in fear. It's to make you think and use your brain. You know what I mean? Because you can celebrate and you can do whatever you want to do any other day. And it's not just on that day, because you don't know when something can happen. But my point is, live your life and don't live in fear. Because if you live in fear, now you're paranoid. Now you're looking at other Americans as if though we're terrorists. Now you're looking at all of us as if though, maybe I got the bomb. Maybe I'm the terrorist. What if Ringo's the terrorist? Maybe he's the sleeper cell. Beware. You don't want to live like that. Oh, maybe my neighbor's my neighbor is probably a sleeper cell. Some of y'all believe y'all neighbors are sleeper cells. Some of you got weird neighbors. Some of you got neighbors that they come outside mean mugging you. And you're wondering, man, is my neighbor the devil? Is my neighbor a terrorist? Listen, you don't want to live in that kind of fear. Just live your life. Have a cold beer, relax, take care of your kids, go to your job, and just be normal. But also be smart. Be wise. Stop listening to fearmonger content on YouTube. When I tell you, these guys, they're promoting so much fear right now. And again, guys, I like to educate the people. I entertain my viewers a lot. But when it comes to this type of content, don't live in fear. Do not live in fear. Have the kind of mind that says, I'm going to live my life no matter what's going on in the world. Become fearless. I'm going to live my life regardless of what's going on, right? But I'm going to be smart. I'm going to be wise. I'm going to take precautions. I'm not going to be dumb. I'm not going to go places and be naive, but I'm not going to live in fear. And I'm not going to make my kids live in fear. Some of y'all in so much fear, you don't let your kids go outside because you're worried about what's going to happen. Listen, let your kids go outside. Don't be a prisoner in your own home. Don't be a prisoner in America. So let me get this straight. So we're in America and we're prisoners in our own home now? You're in America and you became a prisoner in your own home? No. No. We're not going to let the news media put us in shackles, put us in chains, and we're not going to let content creators do the same thing. We're not going to let them win. Because the terror attack that they're really doing is a mind attack. It's mental. It is designed to mentally drain us and get us so full of fear, we don't use our life anymore. Now we're getting older and our life is passing us by because we're not being proactive. We're not being productive. We're not using our talents. We're not using our skills. We're procrastinating more. We got to stop all of that. We live in this world, so we got to function in the world, but you don't want to be slow. You don't want to be naive to the information that's out there in the world. There's a lot of misinformation. Look at all the stuff that happened recently. You had leaked information that hit the media regarding Donald Trump when they struck Iran, and Trump was boasting about, yeah, we struck them. Yeah, 3 different areas. We took down their nuclear capabilities to develop weapons. Then and later, Iran came out and said, no, they didn't. They never hit nothing. They lied. And it made Trump look bad. And then he came back in the media like, yo, I don't know what you guys in the media are doing putting out misinformation, but we did what we did. So it put us in a position where it's like, who do we believe? Who do we believe? My thing is this. Whether Trump did what he did or he didn't do what he do, you still got to live your life. You still got to wake up in the morning to go to work. You still got bills to pay. And nobody ain't going to pay those bills if you ain't working. Right? So don't let fear cripple you. Don't let fear paralyze you. Don't let them take your joy. That's what fear is designed for, to take your peace. How many of you heard bad news and it ruined your day? How many of you were in a good mood? You were in a good mood, man. Somebody called you. Bad news. All of a sudden now, it just changed your whole mood. Change your whole mood. Like you were all the way up here feeling real good, having a good time. Have you ever had one of them good days where everything was going good? Weather was good. Just got paid. It's Friday night. Parties jumping. Everything going good. Somebody hit you up with bad news. All of a sudden you depressed. Or somebody called you and they started telling you about their bad news. Dumping on you. And it just took away your energy. Took away your peace. That is what fearmongering does. Let me give you the science behind this, guys. Let me give you the science behind this. When a content creator, you got to listen. You have to listen to this, guys. Give me a minute. You got to listen to this, guys, because I think this is going to set you free. When you listen to YouTubers, TikTokers, Instagrammers, Facebook guys, whatever, if these are CIA agents using witchcraft, spell work, energy vampires, or if they're energy harvesting, let me give you how this thing works. When a YouTuber extract your peace through fear, the way this thing works is they steal your energy by making you believe in a future event that didn't even happen yet. In other words, there's going to be a collapse of the economy. The internet is going to collapse. If you believe that, right? The reality of that hits in your brain. You start to see it. Now you start to worry, you start to fear, and the energy that is coming from you goes to that content creator who is energy harvesting from you. Once they take your energy, you gave them power. Now they're able to prosper. Now they're at peace. While you're living in fear, struggling mentally, worried, now you changed all your plans. First, you planned to take a trip. You and your family was going on vacation. You had it all planned. You canceled your flight. Why? Because of all the fear. You're supposed to be living your life. You canceled your flight out of fear. And now, because you canceled your flight out of fear, because you thought that if you would have took the flight, something was going to happen on the flight. But no, by you canceling the flight and staying where you were, then something happened where you locally, because of the thing you feared the most. And the content creator was able to extract your energy. It happens all the time. Look, earlier before I went live, guys, I'm going to give you a good example of how this thing works. I was scrolling through YouTube and I stumbled upon an Asian platform on YouTube. All you see is Asian people in the comments. The video that we was looking at was a live stream of an Asian woman cooking. But the problem is she's not dressed for cooking. She's wearing something that's seductive. She have on shoes that nobody would ever wear in a restaurant. She have on no apron, no hair covering, nothing. And she's moving all fast like a robot. I came in there, I was like, that's AI. That's AI. Next minute, it went from Chinese, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was Chinese, Mandarin, Cantonese. I don't know what they were typing in. It was in an Asian language. Everybody was typing in that Asian language. Once I said it's AI, all of a sudden I start seeing English speaking people coming into the chat. It went from 1,000 live viewers all the way down to 100. Because I said it was AI. Nobody knew. It was nothing but fake content. But it had everybody glued to the screen. You understand what I mean? That's the same way fearmonger content is. It's being produced by AI. It's being produced by these entities, these demons that are out here. There's a lot of talk about MAGA, right? A lot of content creators are associated with MAGA. Some of these content creators pose as if though they're not. And they'll try to make it seem like they're having debates with MAGA when really they're MAGA too. Wake up. Wake up. Somebody just said, what's your solution? You must have just walked into the stream. I suggest you watch the stream over, because what you don't understand is if you just walked into a stream and you're asking for a solution was already given to you, but you're not paying attention. See, this is the problem with society. People have ears, but they're not listening. Live your life. No fear. No fear. No fear. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to be happy. I'm not going to be so preoccupied by all this terror stuff. I'll keep an eye open, but it's not going to stop me from living my life. You're not going to stop me from doing what I got to do. I'm not going to be paralyzed by the news. I'm going to go shop. I'm going to go have a good time with my fam. I'm not going to let your influence cause me to miss out on my opportunities. That's why I said, go out there and live your life. Don't let the news paralyze you to the point where it's like, man, I can't go outside because the bombs are coming, the terror's coming, Trump is messing everything up, the migrants, ICE, because right now you have a lot of immigrants that are scared because they're afraid that ICE is coming for them. You know what I mean? And you have content creators that 1 minute they support ICE, next minute they don't support ICE. They're all over the place. They flip-flop. They flip-flop. when it's convenient. In other words, if the crowd is pro-ICE, they'll jump on board. If the crowd more or less favor immigrants, they'll jump on board that. Whatever it is to keep you tuned in, that's what they'll do. You know? Let me see what's going on. Let me see. Let me block Nubian, whatever. You said zero solutions, just yarping, whatever. You're most likely the devil. Because if you believe I have zero solution, why are you here watching? If you believe I have zero solutions, why are you watching me? I already gave the solutions. Don't live in fear and go live your life. See, the solution is so simple that people can't even understand. Imagine that. Telling people not to live in fear and to live their life. They don't see that as a solution. Like, everything in this world is based upon faith or fear. You got to make your choice which one. It's either you have faith in God or you have fear in the devil. Because whatever you fear is going to come to pass. I'm not living in fear. You see? You got to go out there and do it. Nobody can go with you. You know? You got to live your life. A lot of people just don't know how to live their life because they've been living in fear their whole life. To the point when you give them the solution, they're still asking, so what's the solution? I'm like, damn. You don't know what not living in fear mean? If the news is constantly telling you there's a terror coming, there's a terrorist in the earth, there's sleeper cells, there's bombs, we're going to get attacked. Okay, what is that designed to do? Fearmonger. Put fear in people, make them worry. What's the solution? Don't fear. It's that simple. But again, people don't have the understanding or the capability to just get the basics of what you said. It's your choice. Live in fear or have faith in the Most High to protect you from danger. See, if you're a soldier and you're in the military, you can't go in there in fear. You'll die. You won't make it back home. Put a 1 in the chat if you're in the military, been in the military, or have family in the military. In order for you to survive, you can't have no fear. I don't think anybody could go into the military and they're afraid. I don't think so. You're not going to make it. Even if you're not on the battlefield, I don't think you'll make it if you live in fear. Because the fear is what's going to kill you. That's how you end up dead. Because of fear. So look at it that way. Think of it like you're going into the ring to box with Mike Tyson in his prime. You see what I mean? If you fear, you already lost the fight before it began. Again, Mike Tyson is stepping in the ring in his prime against you. Before you even get in the ring, as soon as you see Tyson and you step in the ring, fear is going to get over you. You already lost before the fight began. Now, once you understand that principle, if you fear terrorists, bombs, economy crashing, cyber wars, cyber attacks, if you fear, you already lost before it even began. You already lost. You see? Somebody asks, what am I talking about? Did you graduate high school? Could you read the title? You know, the video has a title. Normally, when you want to know what people are talking about, you pay attention. So it's either you didn't graduate high school, you need hooked on phonics, or maybe you don't understand English. You know? Said Mike Tyson bit Evander's ear. Yeah. That's because he was losing. Let me help you out. You said this is just for content, right? Yeah, it's just for content. Now you can leave. People come in here and they just post the most ridiculous things, guys. And this just goes to show a lot of people are not really mature to be in these type of conversations, because when you give them the information, they're not paying attention. See, there's a lot of rumors of war going on right now, a lot of talks about terror attacks, and you have a lot of content creators that are fear-mongering the people, getting them riled up, keeping them on edge, making them look for a boogeyman that is not there. What I say is live your life and don't live in fear of the unknown. I cannot control a sleeper cell, guys. I cannot control sleeper cells. If there's a terrorist out there, I can't control what they're doing. All I can do is be at peace. All I can do is pray, protect my family, and live my life. But I'm not going to make a terrorist or some sort of plot on Americans paralyze me to the point where I can't even live. I can't even live. Remember when 9/11 happened? Y'all remember when that happened? And America was shut down. They shut it down. People were living in fear. And then it got to the point where people was like, yo, I'm not living in fear. I'm not living in no fear. You know? Think about that. Let me get this person out of here. If you're going to come in here with insults, you're just going to get blocked, right? And that's if I see your comment, I'm just going to block you. Right? Be an adult. Because what happened is a lot of people don't realize what's going on. My thoughts of 9/11, you know how they say we got to protect Americans from both foreign and domestic? Well, 9/11 was domestic. And I know that because I was there and I witnessed it in New York, right? So I know based on 9/11 what happens in America. False flag terrors, terror operations. That's why in my videos I made you guys understand that with the Trump administration, I believe, and guys, you got to listen to this. Just because Trump is not other entities behind Trump that's controlling Trump and controlling other operations in America to make it look like Iran did something. That's why I said, if there were to be a terror strike in America, it wasn't Iran. It was an inside job. I warned you guys about this. Y'all don't believe me. I'm telling you. That's how America has always moved. They use false flag operations, blame it on someone else, problem, reaction, solution. Now they could go to war. So if something was to happen, America did it. America did it. And they're going to blame it on someone else in order to go to war. That's how they do it. But if you believe that Trump is just doing what he want to do and, he got control of everything. No, he don't got control of everything. He think everybody rock with him. But no, there's other forces behind Trump that are in America that are making moves. And they're going to blame it on other people. Remember when Bush was looking for weapons of mass destruction? There were no weapons of mass destruction, guys. We searched. We bombed Hussein. We bombed bin Laden. We bombed everybody. We killed everybody. No weapons of mass destruction. We had a lot of military men die. A lot of our soldiers dead, wounded, disabled, legs blown off. A mess for nothing. A lot of young men and women died because of the lust of the administration. Come on now. Think about that. Somebody said, can you please answer my question? Can you please super chat $100? Talking about, can I please answer your question? Like you're so entitled, I got to stop everything I'm doing to answer your question when you got 1,000 people posting a bunch of comments going crazy. For some reason, I must be AI where I got to stop, zoom through all these comments while I'm running my mouth talking. I just supposed to know what your question was. How entitled. Think about how entitled you must be. When a man is doing a live stream, I'm not even paying attention to the live chat, but can you please answer my question? Post $100 super chat and I'll answer your question. Post $100 super chat with your question. That's what super chats are for, so I can read it. Come on now. You're not making no sense by saying you're giving them what they want, which is your reaction. This is Ringo TV Reactions. Then you should check my name. My job is to react. All right? Shout out to Exandra for the support. Super chat 100 like this. Yo, oh man, this is crazy. I wish I had my laughter tracks, man. I gotta do my next stream in the studio, man. I gotta do my next stream in the studio, man. I gotta do a video about this, bro. I gotta do a video about this one, man. I gotta get to this section. What is the timestamp here? 48 minutes. Okay, so it's at the 48-minute mark. Moderator Exandra super chatted $100 to show you guys how to do it. Right? So now, all of you in the chat that want questions answered, right? Super chat $100 like Exandra so that I can read and answer your comment. Let's see how many of you gonna do it. Put your money where your mouth is and stop talking and start super chatting. Come on now. Come on, where you at? Where's the person who wanted their question answered? You said nobody's gonna give you $100, dude. Well, then nobody's gonna answer your question, dude. Like, you tripping. Now, think about how selfish you are. You believe you're so entitled for me to answer your question. You want something from me, but you don't want to give? That's like you going to an attorney seeking legal counsel and you think you getting it for free. You tripping. You tripping. Go to an attorney and ask him for legal counsel. See what happens. How many attorneys do we have in the building? How many attorneys do we have? Put a 1 if you are an attorney. Or maybe you are studying to graduate, to get into law, whatever the case is. Do you just give people legal counsel for free? I ain't giving nobody nothing for free. Free speech is not even free. Free speech is not free. If you believe free speech is really free speech, go to your 9 to 5 where you work, go to your supervisor and say F you to your supervisor. See what happens. Free speech. Go to your supervisor and do that. Tell your supervisor, I don't give a F. I do what I want to do. You know what I mean? You can't get me in trouble. This is my job. I run this place. You will get memos. You will be brought up on charges. You'll be in HR. You will be fired from your job. So much for free speech. Ain't no free speech. You know? You'll be out of there. You will be out of there. All them company policies, you're done. There is no freedom of speech, fam. There's no freedom of speech. People take freedom of speech and they don't complete it. You know what I mean? You can talk, but there are still guidelines that must be followed. There are guidelines to freedom of speech. People don't understand what that means. Like, you can't do what you want on YouTube. You can't say what you want. You can't. Every content creator knows there's certain things we just can't talk about or say. If I got online and I start disrespecting women, I'm talking about cussing them out, being ultra vulgar for a whole hour, I would be shut down completely. Totally shut down, guys. And a lot of content creators know what I'm talking about. There's no free speech. You got to walk on eggshells sometimes. Shout out to Michael for the $50 support. Michael, shout out to Michael for the $50 support. I was hoping you would have had like something that you wanted to say, like a question or something, but I appreciate the support. If you still have a question or something, you can just post a comment. You could just post a regular comment and I'll look to see if you have like a question or something. But guys, let me see. Oh yeah, some lawyers do pro bono work. That's because they're trying to get on. They got to pay those bills. So it's like, all right, I'll work with you. It's one of them type of thing. They ain't got nobody. They don't got no clients. So sometimes they'll just take you in. You know what I mean? I'm not messing with that. You know? A public defender, I don't want no public defender. You know? You're going to lose that case. Public defender pretty much is working with the state. So you're done. If you get one of those, you can just forget about it. Where's I'm looking for Michael, see if he wrote a question. I don't see anything. I guess he just wanted to support. But shout out to Michael for the support. And Alexandra for the support. Shout out to Caramel Kimmy Kim. I see you in the building. Let me see. We're going to also be talking about Tia Mowry later on, guys. I got to talk about her. It's a lot of mess going on. Let me see. Black men are cool. Black women are cool too. But they can be argumentative. Uh-oh. Here we go. Somebody trying to stir up the pot. Let me see. Oh, that's a different Michael. All right. I thought that was the Michael that supported. That's another. Michael Foster says the building got hit on 79th floor, but collapsed in on its footprint. Well, I already know. Listen, at Michael Foster, I believe we both know what really happened. Let's just say controlled demolition, anyone? I think we both know what happened. You know, I was there. I was out there. So I know. I was there. I was in New York, guys. I was out there. I saw with my own eyes. So all the stuff they showed you on the news, man, I don't want to hear none of that, bro. Yeah, building 7. Not tower 7, building 7. Building 7 you talking about, that collapsed on its own? Man, I tell you, bro. See, it's because of those things why I know that with what's going on with Iran and Israel, with Trump, there's a possibility that something can happen out here. All I'm saying is don't let the thought of that paralyze you to the point where you become afraid. I'm not afraid of death. Listen, once you're born, there's a due date for you to die. You can't escape death. So I'm not afraid of death. I'm not. So once you conquer that, and you're not afraid to die, you can live your life. You see? You just have to have faith in the Most High. I don't know how many of you people are believers in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I don't know. But in today's day, if you don't have no faith in God, man, I don't know how you're going to be able to make it in these dark days. You got to have a belief in the Heavenly Father, man. You know? But yeah, 9/11, most of you already know. See, guys, here's the thing. On YouTube, they be very sketchy about what you say about certain things. That's why I kind of briefly touch on things, little. But those particular topics, it's like when you start to get into the real nitty gritty of those stories, YouTube would try to come after you and rain on your parade because they don't want you to put out the truth. They look at it like you're posting or talking misinformation or some nonsense. Fam, I was there. I saw with my own eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody could tell me nothing, fam. I was there. You see what I mean? They'll label you a conspiracy theorist and all this other stuff, and I don't like it. It's just like with the pandemic, guys. When people had to take the shot, right? When I was in New York, they wanted everybody at the job to take the shot. They was like, yo, if you don't take the shot, we're gonna have to get rid of you. And I'm like, what? What? Yeah, you got to take the shot or you got to go. And I'm like, man, I don't know, fam. They bugging, bro. And they were basically forcing everybody to do that. Let me read this comment from Michael Russo. It says, I really like the things you have been talking about, and I'm new on your chat. I wanted to support you. I think I will think of a question, and if I don't, I'm just listening, just supporting you. Okay, appreciate that. I just wanted to make sure that you didn't have a question, because if you support it, I wanted to make sure that I respond to any sort of question you have, you know what I mean? And keep my word. But I appreciate your support. What was I saying? I was talking about the pandemic. Yeah, so when I was living in New York, I'm in North Carolina right now. When I was living in New York at the job that I was at, I worked very hard for that job. I took all sort of exams, civil service exams. I got all sorts of certifications, training, testing, everything in order to have that career that I had, that I lost. And when the pandemic took place, I already knew what it was really about. I can't talk about it on YouTube, guys, because the information I got is so shocking, it'll shut down the internet if I talk about it. Matter of fact, I would lose my platform if I talk about it. Do you understand me? Like, I know what really went down. I got receipts. I got facts. I know exactly what it is. They tried to silence me so much because of what I know that even on my Patreon site, which is a site that is private, they were shutting down videos on a private site. On a private site that I pay for. That's when I knew it was real, that they were not playing around. They literally wanted to silence me. But I know what went down with that situation. It's dark. All I can say is that I didn't take the shot. I said no, and they let me go from the job. Now, keep in mind, guys, I love that job. I don't know how many of you like where you work, but where I was at, I love the job, guys. I really love the job. Like, I could go there and work. I could work for free. I didn't care. I just love doing what I do. I was trained for the job for years and years and years. It was my thing. So it was either you take the shot or you lose the job. I'm like, man, forget it. I'm not taking no shot. Because I knew what was coming. I knew what I was at risk for. And after I left, co-workers dropped dead. Others hospitalized. Some of them are sickly. Nobody understands what's going on. You fill in the blank. You know? And it was because of the damn mayor in New York that pushed that mess. He was the one pushing it. The mayor and the governor, them damn devils in New York. They the ones that was pushing that evil on all workers. They were letting go firemen, and you know what's so crazy? They end up letting the firemen and everybody come back because their union was fighting for them. The union for the fire department, the NYPD, they were fighting and fighting to get their jobs back. And they gave them their jobs back. Because a lot of the firefighters, they stepped off the job. They was like, yo, I'm not taking it. You know? It don't make no sense, guys. And it's like all throughout the pandemic, the mayor in Florida, he was the only one. Wait, is the mayor or governor? I'm not sure which one. But the guy the mayor or the governor in Florida, he was the only one that really understood that the people have a choice. If they don't want to take it, they don't have to. But it seemed like New York was the testing ground for that crap, bro. When I tell you, all the elderly people disappeared. All the elderly people disappeared, guys, in New York. Yeah, those of you that live in Florida, you pretty much was protected. You had it good during the pandemic. I don't think you guys were not forced to take no shot. You were not forced. What's the guy's name in Florida, man? He did a good job during the pandemic, but when it came down to the Daniel Penny situation, he fumbled the ball, man. DeSantis, yeah. DeSantis did a great job during the pandemic. I watched all the news about what he was doing in Florida. I think he did an excellent job making sure that the people have their rights and their freedom and do what they want and make their own choices. But where he dropped the ball, and some of you may disagree, is with the Daniel Penny situation. The guy that got, choked out in New York. Because of DeSantis, he promoted the killer who killed the black man. He promoted him because he's in the military. Once he did that, I lost all respect for DeSantis. Lost all respect once I saw that. You know? Once I saw him endorse the killer, and they raised money for the other guy, for the killer. Once he said that, I was like, nah, I can't rock with this dude, man. I wish he was the mayor or the governor I think it's governor. I think he's a governor, I'm not sure. But I wish he was in New York during the pandemic. If he was in New York, everybody would have kept their jobs. You know? But New York during that time was bad, guys. It was bad. Listen, they let everybody go home. Nobody was at work. It was a ghost town. When I tell you, I used to get up in the morning because I was what they call essential worker, whatever that is, right? So I was one of those essential workers that during the pandemic, I still was able to go to work. And when I would leave to go to work, guys, the streets was empty. It was like Mad Max. It was like, what's that movie? The Book of Eli. The Book of Eli with Denzel. It was like that in the streets. There was nobody in the streets. It was like a ghost town. And then everybody had on these masks. I was rebelling with the mask, bro. I did not wear it. They were like, you gotta wear the mask. I'm not wearing it because it makes no sense. Listen, in the line of work that I was doing, we were trained with different respirators. You would have to wear a respirator for soot when you're dealing with different chemicals and various other stuff. To put on a dust mask and just walk around with that all day, you're literally breathing in your own air, which is actually harming you even more. You understand? You're breathing in carbon dioxide. You're breathing in that. You're breathing in your own air. That's harmful. Listen, it would be better for you to have on no mask than to have on a mask. Based on my training, you're not supposed to do that. A dust mask was not stopping what they claim was in the air. I don't know who educated people, but whoever thought of putting on a mask was dumb. I'm just honest. Like, it makes no sense. I was looking at everybody like, what do you mean wear a mask? That's not stopping nothing. Look, it's in the air. You can't stop it. If there's a fire and you close your window, you're going to still smell smoke. If there's a fire, you could close the windows, you're going to still smell smoke. If you're wearing a dust mask all throughout the day, when you go in your house, you're around your family, right? Everybody's not wearing a mask. So come on. It was Fauci that was promoting that mask, but the mask actually made it worse. That's what I'm saying. I used to tell my supervisor, I'm like, come on, you know the training we got. And the super was like, yeah, I know. I was like, so why are you enforcing something if you know it's harming us, bro? Like, we know better. The people in America, they don't know better. We know based on the training. Wearing a dust mask all day is harming you. You're harming yourself. That is what was making people come down with whatever that was faster. That's why Fauci said to do that. That's why I didn't wear no mask. It got to the point where they were like, they put out letters in the workplace saying, you better wear your mask. And if you don't have on that mask, you're getting written up. Man, I'm not wearing nothing. I ain't wearing nothing. No mask. The whole time. Supervisor come by, he's like, you know you're supposed to have on the mask. I was like, look, I'm not wearing nothing. You can just write me up. I told him, you just go ahead, write me up. He ain't write me up. He ain't write me. They know they need me. They need me there. You know what I mean? Crazy stuff, man. Shout out to Edward Phillips for the $2 support. Shout out to Edward, fam, for the $2 support, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to Edward for the support. Yeah, OSHA. Oh, listen, man. Even my union failed me, guys. Even my union failed me. That's why you paying dues to these unions, man. Yo, they gonna, listen, they don't care, man. The union failed us. Everybody failed us, bro. And we all got exemption letters so that we could be good. Because they were like, oh, you don't have to take it if you could get an exemption letter from a church, a pastor, a doctor, or whatever. We all had letters, fam. Me and a couple of the guys, we got our letters together, certified. Everything is legit. We submitted the documents. They rejected us. They rejected us. I'm like, nah. They was like, yo, you gotta take that shot. I was like, nope. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Y'all trying to kill me, man. I'm not doing it. There was a point when I was about to go take it, guys. There was a point where I was about to. I ain't gonna lie. Because, again, remember I tell you guys, look, I gotta be transparent with you. In order for me to be a good content creator with you people, I gotta be transparent, right? I gotta be transparent. Okay, cool. I'm telling you guys not to live in fear. I'm telling you guys, no fear, be at peace. Well, when the pandemic was going down and we knew we were gonna all lose our jobs, we put in all of our documents, all our paperwork, and we were able to work during the process. At first, I was like, man, I'm not taking it. But then it got to a point where people were in my ear. They were like, yo, man, you got a family. You got kids. You got to do this for your kids, man. It's their future. And I'm looking at everything and I'm like, remember I told you about influence. Watch who you listening to. Fair. Next minute, I started like, damn, man, if I lose my job, bro, how am I going to pay these bills, man? Man, I mean, I could probably just do it, I could probably just do it. Right? For the kids, right? So at one point, I started to worry. Guys. I started to worry about how am I going to take care of my family. And I was really depressed. I was down. Good thing I had a couple of other brothers on the job. I had, two other brothers in the workplace. Two other guys that was pretty much going to get laid off too. And we had our own support group, just us three. That's it. I wasn't by myself. I wasn't alone. I had two other brothers, and we would support one another going through this tough situation. And they would say, yo, bro, how you feeling, man? I'm like, yo, man, I was thinking about taking it, man. Like, so I could, that's like, nah, bro, don't do it, man. Don't do it. Don't cave in now, man. We came too far to give up now. And because of their encouragement, it knocked me back into my senses. And I was like, you right. For real, you right, bro. I'm not taking nothing, man. And I started getting angry because that was the devil trying to make me weak so I could go ahead and take it. You see what I mean? It's crazy, man. You said you worked downtown Brooklyn at the back on Flatbush Extension. All right. Yeah. I was in Lower Manhattan. I originally was in Brooklyn at the agency, but they moved me to Lower Manhattan. And I was in a good location, good paying job. With that particular job, guys, after I got promoted, man, you can make 6 figures with overtime. If you really grind, like normal salary would be somewhere around like $85K. But with OT and you really grind, you could get 6 figures with that job. You could really, like the OT was there. They had endless OT. So if you one of them type of brothers that you be like, you on team OT, that would have been your thing. Like when I was there, a couple of the brothers, we used to always get income tax checks. That's what we used to call it. You had to be a part of that elite club at the job where, like, yo, you got your income tax check? What do I mean by that? Income tax check. It is when you put in so much OT, you collecting an income tax check, bro. I was a part of that team. We used to be at the job all day, all night. Like I said, I love the job. I'm very skilled at it. And I was one of the best workers at that agency, you know? Let me see. You said so you do that driving trucks in Texas, waiting for the bill. Yeah, shout out to all the truckers. Shout out to all my truckers out there on the road doing what they got to do, getting to the bag. You know what I mean? I always shout out all the truckers on the platform. Always do that. You know what I'm saying? Always shout out everybody from the United States Parcel Service, UPS, FedEx, DHL. Anybody that's a truck driver that's on the road. You know what I mean? I always shout out my truckers. You know? And all the women that are truckers too. You know what I mean? You got female truckers. Let me see. He says we need that bill to pass. Hold on, let me see. Let me see. Vin. Okay. Waiting for that bill to pass. Vin, let me look for your comments. Looking for the comments from Vin. See if there's anything else you wrote. There's a couple of things that Trump put into work because he got some things in the works that's supposed to help people with taxes. I forgot a couple of them, man. He have one where if you purchase a vehicle, I believe it is. I think it's in that beautiful, what is it called? The beautiful, big beautiful bill or something that he was talking about. Whereas if you purchase a vehicle, it has to be made in America. It has to be made American made, like Ford and other stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. I got to look into it. I was supposed to do a video on it. Okay, so it's the big beautiful bill. Yeah. There's supposed to be a lot of stuff in there that is supposed to help out taxpayers. So if I'm correct, I didn't look into it, but it seems to be good. Right? Let me see. He proposed that no tax on OT. Yeah. I mean, that's great. That's great. Because I always, listen, that's something that I couldn't understand. Why? If you're doing overtime, that's supposed to be your money. But they taxing you like crazy. You know how much money you're supposed to get back when you do OT? Bro. And now they want to do something like that. That means all of you cats out there that get that OT bread, man, you'll be getting a bag. Yeah, no taxes on American-made products. Also, like I said, with the vehicles, you know, like how when you pay interest on them loans, like all of that is tax deductible. Me too, never understood no tax on tips. I'm waiting. I do mad OT. Yeah. Oh, listen, at the workplace, that's one of the things that I miss with the job is that me and the brothers, we was just OT crazy. We used to tell the supervisor, yo, line us up with all the OT. They were like, because, you know, people just wanted to go home. They didn't want to stay at work. I'd be like, yo, where's the OT at? Yo, supervisor, man, yo, what up, bro? Where the OT at? Come on, dog. Sign us up. It's like, y'all want to work? Yo, bro, set us up for the whole week. He's like, all right. I'm going to put you on the schedule for OT, man. All right, so you could be at such and such. You said, nah, we work together. We a team. All right. And he put us up on the schedule. Bro, we OT like crazy. We used to be milking the system, bro. Just OT all day, every day. Like nothing. Come to work at 8 o'clock. I used to be there at 5. I had to punch in at 5 a.m. in the morning. And normally I would get out like 1, but I would stay from 5 in the morning all the way to about 9 at night. I didn't care, bro. I used to hustle, bro. No cap. That was some serious. And I used to still do YouTube at the same time, which is crazy, you know? But yeah. So guys, it kind of bring back memories talking about the job. But on a more serious note, guys, don't live in fear. Life is what you make it. Everything changes. You know what I'm saying? As much as I love the job, that was a season in my life. It wasn't meant to be forever. You get what I'm saying? Everything that I learned from the job, I took with me in who I am today, right now. You know what I mean? Because when I first got into that job, my superintendent, he passed away. R.I.P. to him. Condolences to his family. His name was Craig Williams. Great guy, great man. As soon as I got into the workplace, first thing he did, it was the way it works is when you got the job, they would ship you out to different locations, and they shipped about 4 or 5 of us to one location. His first words was, "Always tell me the truth. Always be honest." We was in charge of $1 million worth of equipment. We were responsible for very dangerous equipment. You can die. It's very, very dangerous. This is not the type of job where you could come to work drunk. Even though there were times when people came to work drunk, they got fired. But it was a very serious job. You couldn't BS. His first words was, "Be honest. Always tell me the truth." That's all I asked. And then what he did is he pretty much took us under his wing, showed us the ropes. He was the supervisor that was supposed to be in the office. He didn't have to come out. But he would put on boots, gloves, come out in the field where we were working and pretty much show us the ropes, hands-on. And he would pretty much always encourage us that you can always take more exams to excel in the company and stuff like that. And I followed all his advice to the T. And I was able to elevate in the company. You know what I mean? Great guy. You know what I mean? Great. He was a great dude. And he wanted to see other black men become successful. You know, like how sometimes people get successful, they only want to be the one, but they want you to be under their foot. He wasn't that type of guy. He wanted you to elevate too. He would always show us pictures of like his house, property. He had a big old house, fam, like 7 bedrooms, or probably, I don't know how many bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 5-car garage, all these nice vehicles. You know, this guy's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and he's always showing us how we can have success if we stay grinding, be true, be honest, be good workers. And it's something that I would never forget, because it's through those people you learn from. So you can't take life for granted. Some of you may have had a job, you got laid off, you fell on hard times, you met some good people along the way. It's those experiences that make you a better person, a better man, a better woman. It builds your character. It teaches you responsibility. And you're supposed to take all of those experiences with you so that you can now teach others and help others to grow, to help others to mature. That's what makes the world a better place. You understand? And from that one superintendent, he teamed me up with another guy named Lionel, another great guy. And he taught me the ropes. And then I got connected with a sister, a black woman. Her name is April. Shout out to April. I don't know if she ever known about my platform. This is a small world. She might watch me on YouTube. April was a beast in the workplace. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I mean that she was the type of black woman that knew her job. She knew her way around, and she taught me a lot of different things along the way too that increased my skill set. You know what I mean? She was working harder than men. You know what I mean? This is a black woman. She was working harder than the men. Skilled. I always gave her her props. I used to be working with her. I'm like, damn, April, you ain't no joke. She's there doing her thing. She's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm just doing what I gotta do. You know what I mean? That's what it is. I'm like, and she got kids home. She's working harder than the men. I'm like, dang. So I learned from her, Lionel, and Craig. Those were the three people that blessed me to become highly skilled in that company. And I had my own experiences and training that elevated me up that ladder. So in life, guys, you meet people, you learn from people, always acknowledge those people. Never get so prideful and arrogant that you think it's all about you. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people you met along the way that help you become better. Some of you truckers, you may have learned from other truckers. You may have learned from other skills from different drivers on how to maneuver and how to do this and how to do that. And they taught you along the way. You know what I mean? So it's always good to acknowledge those people. It's always good to remember those times. So don't feel bad if you had a hard time, lost a job, whatever. That was the past, guys. That's the past, right? It's gone. It's over. Let's move forward. Life gets better. It gets better as we go further, guys, right? So don't dwell on the past. That's the past. Yeah, you had some good memories, some good times. You had some fun. Okay, talk to your grandkids about those days. Right now, we got to move forward. So live your life. Don't live in fear of economies collapsing, cyber attacks. Listen, there will be no cyber attacks. There will be no death. There will be none of that in the land. That is what you got to confess. Even though they might have rumors of terror cells and terrorists and 4th of July, be careful, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But we still got to live our life, guys. All right? We still got to live our lives. At Michael, I don't know if you ever, Russo, I don't know if you ever put out a question. If you did, my apologies. I got so caught up, I'm not even paying attention to the chat. Okay, let me see. I'm just kind of combing through to see if you ever had a question. Let me see. Let me see. Will says, I slammed a fork truck into a shelf post once. I wasn't allowed to use the lift for like a month. After I backed on the lift, I had a worse accident. Sometimes accidents happen, man, in the workplace. But it's very serious when they happen. Companies don't play around when it comes to accidents that deals with machinery. The type of work that I was doing, guys, was very, very dangerous. I might post up some of my old videos, man. I got a lot of videos when I was at work. I might just post all of that stuff up and just to have on the platform for people to see. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff is probably still up. I don't even know if it is, but, when you're on the job, you got to work safe. Safety first. Y'all all know the rules when you're working in these jobs. You wear your hard hat, wear your safety vest. Safety first. Wear your gloves, your proper PPE. No drinking on the job. The way I was, guys, when I went to work, I wasn't playing. I was by the books. Once I clocked in, I'm a different guy. I'm a professional. I am doing my job. I'm not BSing. I'm not playing. I was that kind of guy. The supervisors knew. You know how when you go to some workplaces, a supervisor always got to come around and check on people? Supervisor never had to check on me. Supervisor would ask me how the workers are doing. My supervisor encouraged me to take the supervisor exam. That's the next step I was going to. You know what I mean? One of my partners, he became a supervisor. I actually was training him because once I got laid off, one of my partners that I pretty much was training on the job, teaching him the ropes, he ended up becoming a skilled worker too. And he elevated himself, and now he's a supervisor now. He's a supervisor now. You see what I'm saying? I would have been a supervisor too. But my point is, I'm happy for him because he was able to continue to grind, continue to work. Even though I wasn't there no more, he took the baton and he went forward. Now he a supervisor now. You know what I mean? Now he a supervisor now. You see? And the thing is, a lot of people are never happy for other people. I'm always happy for other people when they excel in life. Some people get mad when other people grow. Never be jealous of other people's success. When you see other people have success, you're supposed to congratulate them. You're supposed to congratulate them. If you're not congratulating them, you're a hater and you're never going to prosper. You're never going to be successful if you're hateful for other people's success. You know? You got to be happy for other people. Shout out to Forever Studios. See you in the building. So I'm going to get on out of here, guys. If you like the content, if you like the information, be sure to double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. That helps with the algorithm. If everybody was to double tap the screen, let's get this thing to 1,000 likes. If you also like the content, consider subscribing to the channel. That helps us out over here. Without you guys, I can't do this. I understand that. So I'm very grateful for those of you that considered subscribing to the platform if you feel it helps you out in any sort of way. If you don't like my content, you think it sucks, you think it can improve, then maybe you should subscribe and put it in the comments how my content could improve. And maybe I'll consider those particular critiques. You know what I mean? Just be respectful. All the insults, save all of that stuff. It's not really benefiting nobody to be insulting people and stuff like that on social media. It's not something that's good. You know, let's be adults. Let's learn from one another. Let's have a community of people where we can share our thoughts about what's going on in the world. You know, you might be having a bad day. Sometimes you might have a bad day. You post a comment under the video like, hey, man, having a rough day. You know, it is what it is. I could need some encouragement, whatever. If you post that comment, it'll now make other people read your comment and they'll begin to give you encouragement. You might have about 300 people under your comment giving you words of encouragement. So sometimes it's good to have a community where you can go to and have these discussions, you know, because a lot of us don't really have anybody to talk to. Some of you don't have no friends, no family, nobody to talk to. So sometimes social media gives you that outlet where you can actually participate. Don't just use social media as a place to come in and troll and just, you know, disrespect people and just be negative. That's you want positive vibes, positive energy, guys. Very important to have positive vibes, positive energy. I get misunderstood a lot of times on social media. People misunderstand me. I may post something, they misunderstood what I was saying, and it just creates more nonsense. I try to avoid all of that mess. Right? Shout out to Caramel, Kimmy Kim in the building. What's going on? And again, shout out to Exandra for the support, you know what I mean, earlier. Appreciate the support. So I'm going to get on out of here, guys. Again, if you're in America, no fear. No fear. Let's not go into next month living in fear. Speaking of next month, I gotta go order something right now. Those of you music producers out there, y'all do know Native Instruments is having a so-called summer sale, right? So I got to pretty much head on over there. And I am not sponsored by Native Instruments. I don't get paid from Native Instruments, even though I would like to be sponsored by Native Instruments. So if they're listening, hit me up. But yeah, they got a summer sale for sample libraries, and I think it's complete. I'm not sure what number they're up to, but I got to update my complete, what is it? Complete Ultra. I gotta update it so I can get all the other sample libraries that it has. So I got to do that. I'm a professional music producer, guys. Film director, film producer. This is what I do. You know, it is what it is. You're not a film producer. You're a liar. Give me a minute, guys. Give me a minute. I'm not a film producer. I don't film movies. Okay, let's see what we got here, guys. You see this? You see this? This is a cinema rig, right? This is a cinema rig built behind the Sony FX3. You know what I'm saying? So this cinema rig here has all the bells and whistles, all of the stuff you would need to do films, right? In 4K resolution. And think about this, guys. Me owning this is due to the generous supporters out there that rock with the platform, and they're very supportive of the work that I do, which afforded me the ability to put together this cinema rig, right? And I got some content that's coming that's going to be very, very dope, guys. The next purchase that we're purchasing for the setup is the stabilizer, so that I'm able to carry the camera on the stabilizer and have ultra smooth scenes and stuff like that. So we're doing films. We got a new channel that we're gonna launch, doing movies, films, skits, a family show. We got a lot of stuff in store. We got the music channel that's coming to works. We have a lot of different things. Again, the setup that you see here, guys, that's for the show We Gotta Talk TV. If you go into my channel, on my channel homepage, there's a channel there, We Gotta Talk TV. Let's get that channel to 1,000 subscribers. There's no content over there yet, but we're getting it ready, guys. It's the whole studio setup is already done, guys. Like, I'm not sure if you can see, but you know, that whole setup right there is the studio, right? This is the downstairs in the house. So we got a lot of stuff in store, guys. There's a lot of stuff that we're doing. I have a lot of work to do. I'm a one-man band, but it's about to get really, really crazy. So again, those of you that supported the platform, without you, we can't do this. You understand? So I acknowledge everybody that support the work. I'm grateful. I'm humble. It's been a great journey. You guys are on the journey with me. We're moving forward, and there's so much more to Ringo TV that you have not even discovered yet, guys. So again, anybody that had subscribed to the channel, again, I hope you enjoy your stay. Look around, take a look at the content. I got a ton of videos, almost 3,000 videos on this platform alone, covering all sorts of different topics you can name. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm gonna also start posting scooter videos, guys, where I'm traveling around North Carolina on my scooter doing content, which means I'm gonna be on the open roads, riding around, doing videos, adding commentary to it while on the road. So it's gonna look ultra cool, multi-camera angles. It's gonna be lit. It's just a lot of stuff, a lot of ideas, a lot of work. And I really look forward to doing that type of stuff. So again, be sure to double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you can be notified. And everybody have a blessed night. Let me give a shout out here. Shout out again to Michael Russo again for $20 support. Says thank you. I will have a question on the next chat. Okay, appreciate you. So shout out to Michael again for the support. Again, I appreciate you sponsoring the show. Shout out to all the moderators, you know, all the moderators, V-Dub Man, Sean the Navigator, Show Shao, Forever Studios, Sherelle, Tracy, Rebel for Almighty, Caramel, Kimmy Kim, and Exandra. You know what I mean? I got everybody, right? Yeah. I got everybody. Okay, guys, so we're going to get up on out of here. Y'all have a blessed night. Drive safe if you're on the road. No road rage. Wear your seatbelt. Keep God first. Be thankful. Always be thankful. Be humble. And you'll be at peace. I'm out, y'all. Take care. We out. Peace.